Welcome to the inaugural Entering the Fall Thought Leadership Series. We're happy to have everyone here. Thank you for tuning in, for anyone live streaming right now. It's such an opportunity to take advantage of this historical location at the NYSE during the middle of COVID to be able to gather at least a couple dozen people and to reach a broad audience is amazing. And really, I think that's part of it. I want to first start by introducing Simplify. We're a very new firm. We've only been in the market for about a year, and we were really founded in the depth of COVID. And so I think there's a microcosm of capitalism there, where even in the midst of crises and a lot of sort of tragedy, there's always a reinvention and a reinvigoration of innovation and opportunity. And that's really what we were trying to do, is take that spirit of innovation and disruption and really adding value back to society in various forms. And our platform is built to do that exact thing. And it's a young platform, about a dozen ETFs, growing quickly. And really our value opportunity is to provide opportunistic hedging, as well as sort of balance sheet efficiency and sort of return-enhancing opportunities that have really been only available to the most sophisticated investors in the form of things like hedge funds. And so that democratization of investment exposure is really what we hope to help bring to the ETF market, or continue to bring to the ETF market. On a personal level, I'm really, really excited to have some of my colleagues here, many of whom are meeting each other for the first time. Again, because we were founded during COVID, we are literally native online, and all of our conversations and brainstorming happens really on Slack and other sort of third-party tech platforms. And that sort of journey has been really interesting to see. And before I get too far into the speech, I want to start by first talking about all the people who help contribute to this event. There's a lot of work behind the scenes. Certainly my colleagues at Simplify, certainly Squeaky, who helps make us look so good from a marketing perspective, the NYSE, which gave us this facility and is hosting. We have Real Vision, who's donating their time and staff to help televise this, as well as all the speakers here who are obviously donating their time, as well as money in many cases, and the expertise. And so all of this brought together is an exciting way to sort of talk about the markets, but really just kind of an excuse to hang out. And speaking of that, this whole backstory of this conference is fascinating, because it really started with a single relationship, a mentor-mentee relationship. Mike Green, who essentially came up with this idea, who is a colleague of ours, really came up with this entire conference as an excuse to introduce our youngest intern, a 17-year-old Canadian who flew out here to hang out with us as well, Sri Prakash. And really the whole idea was, how do I justify introducing a bunch of my sort of esteemed people in the industry to this mentee of mine, right? And that's sort of the genesis of this. And it became so much more as it's sort of that idea germinated in our company as we talked to potential speakers. And again, that's a microcosm. It starts with an innovation or a spark or sort of a motivation for something. It starts with relationships, and it builds into something more. And I think that's sort of, again, what we're trying to do. And we know so many of you watching are fiduciaries. You have that personal relationship, that personal responsibility to help people navigate the challenges of today's markets, deliver really important and really, obviously very personal investment goals, right? Building wealth, protecting wealth, transitioning and leaving wealth for children or causes. And speaking of causes, this whole concept is really investing in people, right? So Mike Green investing in Sri. We, in return, are trying to invest in a really important cause to us. And that cause today is the Coney Island Prep School, which conceptually is essentially a school that helps accelerate opportunities, socioeconomic opportunities, through hard work, education, and really caring community, and really trying to support largely underprivileged kids in southern Brooklyn and surrounding regions as they pursue sort of the dreams and hopes of capitalism, right? To make their lives better off, to try to make their families' lives better off. And that whole concept, that whole sort of virtuous circle, I think, is under attack these days. And so we're at the seat of capitalism, celebrating sort of the positive sides, long history of life-changing positives that that system has brought and will continue to bring. And so I'm just thrilled to be here, thrilled with the caliber of the guests that we have lined up today, and just thrilled to be with my colleagues and sort of all the guests here. So with that, I think I'm ready to go.